All right, we're on.
We are on.
Nobody's here yet, but that's okay.
That's all
I'm
right.
glad you and I are here. That's enough.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Everybody else will be bonus.
True. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I found this book at the thrift store, and I thought it was interesting, so I thought I would read it as my beginning for the stream. But I'm going to wait for a few more people to come in first. But anyway, welcome,
All
welcome.
right. Yeah, what was okay. I'm getting
Nobody's
things
in the
set up here
comments
so I
yet,
can
but a
see.
couple of people are watching. It says,
Oh,
um,
beautiful. Oops. Ah,
"Beautiful Oops." It's a children's book that I found, and I just thought it was good for anybody, any age. It says here, everyone who has ever said the word "oops" will be smiling when they see the masterpiece that Barney Salzberg has created. Funny
ah,
and fun, beautiful oops. It's the best gift to give anyone, any age, anywhere, anytime. That's what that quote is from Jamie Lee Curtis. So,
oh,
anyway,
well, I like the sound of that.
yeah, I thought
Somebody,
it sounds good.
I'm trying to reach it. At the art groups that I go to every other, on the second and fourth Saturday of the month, I've been getting together with a group of artists that meet at a coffee shop, and one of them gave me this book
Oh, cool.
last week. So I haven't had
Well,
time
we'll let
to
you
look at it.
tell us about that one too. I'm going to let
I
you go
don't
first.
I don't know anything about it. I haven't even really had time to look at it. I know that it's, one of those kind of like
Hi,
classic
Alicia.
ones that have been around.
Yeah.
Um, but
Well, I know
I
the phrase "steal like an artist," but I didn't know there was a book.
yeah, yeah. So I can't say anything because I really know nothing about the book. So I
Well,
haven't
you can
looked
flip through
through it
just like that
or
and let us look at it
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. I like this one. Be nice. Uh,
The world is a small town. Well, right now that's kind of how
just
it
be
feels, isn't
nice.
it? Mm.
So yeah, I thought that was really neat.
Oh, very cool.
That he that person thought of me and to give it to me.
Hi,
So
Mary. Well, I'm going to go ahead and read this one. So you get the bonus of hearing the story since you got here early, Lisa and Mary and whoever else is here that hasn't chimed into the chat. It's called "Beautiful Oops" by Barney Salzberg, and it says the pages are all different thicknesses, so I might be a little clumsy. I don't know. Anyway, here's that's the opening page, and then it says, "Oops, a torn piece of paper. It's just the beginning." So see, you can see it turned it into an alligator mouth. Every spill that looks like an elephant to me. Ah, yep, has lots and lots of possibilities. Bent paper is something to celebrate. A little drip of paint. Let your imagination run wild. Hi, Barbara. I'm glad you're here. A scrap of paper can be fun to play with. A smudge and a smear. Where's the, yeah. It's interactive and I'm not good at those. Can make magic appear. A stain has potential if you play with its shape. Holes in your paper are worth exploring. And this is one of those tunnel. That one's kind of hard for y'all to see from, from inside, but you can see there kind of what it's like. When you think you have made a mistake, I think that's all that's that one. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Think of it as an opportunity to make something. Now, there was something here that's gone. Um, make something beautiful. Anyway, I thought, if teachers had thought this way and had given us this book when we were children, we would probably all have been doing art earlier and longer and for our whole life instead of becoming adults first because we were told we weren't any good. At least I was. Um, Told my drawings weren't good enough. Um,
That's awful.
it was
That makes
awful.
me so angry.
That's one reason I
Oh,
homeschooled my kids.
well, and I had my middle daughter had a kindergarten teacher, and I'll never forget this because I went in, I don't know, I think it was for conferences or something, and she just went on and on and on. Or maybe she came home. Oh, I think actually my daughter came home and said that she had gotten in trouble because she made the stems of her flowers like not green. And she was told that they had to be green.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, excuse me?
Now, if
I
that
was
was a
like,
botany class, it might be different. But if it's an
well,
art class, they can be what they
I,
want to be.
I was like, what? I looked at her and I said, Abby, I was like, those are your drawings. And I said, don't you listen to her. I said, this is probably one of the only times I'm going to tell you not to, that you don't need to listen to your teacher. I said,
Yeah.
but no, I said, no. I said, that's not right. This is your art and it's your world and you make it however you want it to be. I was like, don't you let anybody tell you that this has to be this color and this has to be that color. I said, because that's not, no. I was like, nope, nope, nope,
Good for
nope.
you. Uh,
Eh,
see. Hi, Janet. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Sue. I'm glad you all are here. Diane Fago is who's here, Mary.
I'm here, Mary, on the east side of Nebraska, and it's cold out today.
Yeah, it is. Barbara, I didn't send you a link, but I can send you a link if you want to come on with us.
More the merrier.
Usually Barbara's doing something, so she might could come on with us. Anyway, let me know and I'll send you a link in Facebook. But I'm going to take a few more minutes before we get going too far. Um, I had been told last week when I was at Hobby Lobby that they did all of their sales in January, and so there probably wouldn't, the girl who told me this said she didn't see them, marking a bunch more stuff down. But I went today because I thought I'm going to go look again for ink, those oxide ink pads and see if any of them are on sale. Well, they weren't, but there was a bunch of other stuff clearanced, and so um, you're good just watching. Okay, that's fine, Barbara. Um, so because of that, I went ahead and bought a few more things. Um, I spent more money than I planned on when I went in there because I thought I was only going to look for that one thing. But hi Jacqueline, I'm so glad you're here. Over the last year, I haven't done a whole lot, and I've let a lot of paint has dried up during that time. And so I just went ahead and looked around through the things that they had, and I'm going to show you what I found. Um, I had a $50 bill left out of my craft money, and so I spent it. That's what it amounts to. Let's start with these. Okay, let's see if it says how many bags. There's 12 bags in here, and it was reduced from $10 to $2.49. So that's like 25 cents a bag. And if you do gift bags, that's a really good price. So, and this is about the size I usually need. Um, but they had a bunch of different ones on sale. I'll save that. I might need to use it. Okay. Yeah, save
It's a
everything.
sickness, isn't it?
It is. It is. Okay. So we got this one. These I'll probably give to my mom because that looks like something she would put gifts in. But this one had butterflies, and then there was this one with butterflies, and then this one that's flowers. And I thought those would at least some of these would work good. I mean, you could cut the butterflies out and use them just like that. But I'm doing a paper bag journal, and these, would work pretty in there as well. So I got that. Um, Let me find a place to stick it.
It's Craftalanch.
I know. Yeah. And then they had this. This was the only Tim Holtz thing they had clearanced, and it was reduced down to $2.12. So I bought it. So we'll look through it real quick because I haven't looked through it. I just got this stuff, brought it home, and then I had to do other things at home, so I didn't have a chance to really look at anything. Um, so we'll just look through these papers real quick. I'm not. My light is not so great today.
So are those just like 6 by 12?
That looks about right. Let's see.
Hi,
6 by
Sue.
10.
We are glad you're here. I'm sorry that you have a headache. I hope you start feeling better,
Hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here.
Carol.
Oh, I understand, Sue. Anyway, there's this, and here's a marbled paper. So there's a lot of different.
Are they
Sometimes
single-sided
they're,
or?
yeah, no. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, my
Okay.
word. Even better. Okay, we'll go through this side first, and then we'll look at the other side.
That right there is like a book. All you have to do is like fold those in half and put
Yeah,
them into signatures, and you've got an instant book with really cool pages to start on.
that one too would work that way. So this is definitely worth $2.12.
Oh, for sure.
I never have bought them, at the regular $9 price, but okay, now let's turn them over because I just noticed that you can't. You can.
Double-sided paper is always such a good bonus.
It is. Ooh, I like that one.
I haven't been in Hobby Lobby in quite a while, actually. So
Well, I had
I've
told
got.
Tanya I would keep an eye open for the oxides inks, and there's a couple of colors that I don't have that I would like to have, so I've been kind of watching those. But so far, those have not come. Those have not come on sale at my store. Well, one of them did. I got one, but um,
Are those Tim Holtz, the oxide inks?
they're Ranger products. But
Oh,
yeah, they're.
okay.
I mean, I think of Tim Holtz when I think of them because he's the one who does
Right.
all the demonstrations and stuff for them. But some of the things are his products, and then he does stuff with Ranger products. So okay, there's that. And they had a bunch of scrapbook paper on sale, a bunch of pads. I just bought these two small ones because this kind of paper, I don't use it that often in big sheets anyway. I usually just use it like as part of collage. And so I figured 6 by 6 sheets was big enough for me. If I can get it open where we can look at the papers. Anyway, I just grabbed a couple of them that I thought looked interesting. but there was tons, and they had a lot of. They have some small, packaged sets that are in plastic that are themed, that have stickers and stuff in with them on the scrapbook paper aisle. Anyway, those were on sale too. They were like $1.74 for the packet, but I didn't see any of those that interested me. So, okay. And these were $2.99. Okay. And there's, I guess it looks like three of each page in here. My colors are kind of blah today. I'm not sure what's going. Of course, these are not bright anyway, but
It's raining gloomy. Well, I don't. It's not rainy, but we are soft in here. So
yeah. Well, it's nice and sunny and warm, and it's a nice day here. It's not even very windy. That's a that's always nice.
well, for sure, yeah. Well, being in Nebraska, we're blowing around all over the place all the time. I appreciate non-windy days.
Yes, me too. Sherry would like to have some more oxide inks too. Yeah. Well, I keep looking, but so far that they're not on sale here. So okay, there's that one, and then um, these are not that easy to open.
It's been a long time since I've got anything like that. So I'm out of the loop on any of whatever is in or just what people are using and
Yeah.
liking and whatever the hot products are. I am completely clueless. So I've been no buy on stuff like that for years.
Mm,
Because I
good
was
for you.
buying, well, because you know how it is when you first start and you got to have all the things, and
Yeah. And then you find out
I
what you
just
like.
right, and I there was so much stuff that I bought, and then after a while, of course, it got to where I just really had no business buying it because I couldn't afford it,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of got used to that. It made me really, 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 really think about what I bought. It's like, am I buying it just to buy it, or is it something that I need and I'll use? And I just kind of,
Exactly. That's why it took me so long at
yeah,
the store today because I was like,
yes,
I'm not going to buy anything I don't know I'll use just
oh
because
right,
it's a good
yeah.
deal. And I used to do that, but not
I did
anymore.
too. No, yeah, I was the same way, and it used to drive my mom nuts because she would give me cash for my birthday and things like that, so that I could get something for myself, and she'd be like, "Well, have you used that yet?" It's like, "Well, no," and she's like, "Well," it's like because I would sit on it, I would sit on it
Right.
for a year or so trying to decide. It's like, okay, is this worthy of
Of
this
this
money?
money.
And yeah, and then
Yeah.
I've finally just got to where I won't I won't buy anything unless I run out and it's something that I know that I'll use again. So I'm kind of in that, I'm in replace only mode. Because I mean I'm kind of like you. I'm in with cleaning out my art studio that I've been doing and going through all my stuff and all the purging. I've got, I would say, at least half or not more of all of my craft paints are dried up.
Yeah.
And because I went so long without doing any painting and excuse me. And so now as I start, and a lot of it was stuff that was gifted to me, and so I felt bad about not keeping it, but it's taking up space because I wasn't using it. And so I'm getting ready to go through all those. But
Oh, okay, you can. I was going, how do you fill these up if they have this thing where you can rip it off? But they don't. Anyway, I don't know what that's for because they don't actually seal. I mean, like glue shut. So
what are
anyway,
they?
they're little bags that you can just put stuff in, but they have an opening at the bottom like this, so it'll stand up if you get it full of something that's, um, that's not flat. Anyway, I just got those because they were 99 cents. I thought, well, I can stick some things in those and put them in Happy Mail.
Oh, for sure.
So that's why I got those. And then I got this because, well, it was clearance, but also it's got good colors that I like. But it's specifically made to be permanent to wood, metal, resin, acrylic, leather, fabric, and more. So it's quick drying, but it's also bendable. Anyway, it was in with the jewelry making stuff, the beads and all of that. But I thought I have some brads and different things like that I like to paint over because I don't like the color they are.
Yeah.
But the paint comes off of them because they're shiny. Anyway, this says it works on metal and resin and things like that, so I'm hoping that it will stay, but let's open it and see what the colors are. I don't know if y'all can see them in that. Anyway, they're very small little bottles, but let's see how they. Okay, so they open like this. So they're attached at the bottom. No wonder they were so weird. Okay. Let's see if they have colors on them. They don't show a color, but there's a turquoisey one and copper. And when you see those, together, oh, this one's clay. I did find the names. What's this one? This one's blue fluorite. And then here's a green that's called moss. Anyway, those are like my 3 favorite colors. So, and then here's a earth that's brown. And then there's a gray that's called pyrite and sandstone. Anyway, they're all colors that I'll use. And so I thought I would try them on some metal stuff and see if they'll stay put, whereas other things don't. Okay, that tore. I'm just going to stick them back in here for right now, even though it won't really keep them safe. It also has a little, oh, here's a little pin. Clear your tip with this detail tool before use and after storage. So they sent you this little thing to try to keep up with. It's a little piece of copper wire. But anyway, you can also use it to add details and pop bubbles. And so, okay. Anyway, I'll stick that in there. And I found these. I had seen these on like Amazon. I don't know if y'all can see. They're little tiny, tiny flowers. And they have them in the the nail art stuff.
Ooh.
But
I like those.
I thought those were really cute, and they're teeny-tiny. I mean, but I thought they were worth $2.49. I would not have bought them. Well, I might have, like if somebody said, "Let's go in and buy these, and we can each have a quarter of them," because there's a million in there. I would have probably done that, but I wouldn't have spent $10 on them just to have them,
Right.
without knowing I could, Anyway, so if you get Happy Meal from me, some of those might be stuck in it. So you might end up with them on the floor if you're not careful. Kind of like confetti.
So do they have holes in them like beads, or are they just
No,
solid?
they're just solid. They look
Uh,
like they are, you know how you make the Fimo clay beads?
uh-huh.
You make a tube and then slice them. That's what they look. That's how they look like they're made.
Huh.
See?
Yeah, I like those. Those are cute.
Anyway, those were 2.49, and then I got this for $1.49, and it's called Oxidized Tin Designer Finishes. Easy to make finishes kit. 3 simple steps to making oxidized tin or making something look like oxidized tin. Anyway, I thought we would play with that today. Well, in a little bit I'll play with it, but anyway, the kit was reduced from 5.99 to $1.49, so that's experiment worthy.
Yeah, those will be really fun to
Have
see
to
how they
be
work.
cheap even for me to experiment with them. And I may try it on this. These are some chipboard letters, and they were reduced to 99 cents. And you get several vowels, which is good. You get more than one of everything, but anyway, I like that because a lot of times you get one of each thing, and then that's not very useful. I also got these paint pens, which I've never used these kind before. They're Rust-Oleum brand, but they were clearance to $1.99. Pearl Seafoam and Chrome Omelette are the colors. They're greens. That's, um, it says oil based, dries quickly, low odor. So I thought I would try those. And I got these paints. This one is Pearl Riviera Blue and Metallic Stone, but they're pretty colors. And I bought several different kinds of paints that I've never seen before. Um, because they had them, reduced, and I wanted to try them. One of them is this flexible acrylic paint FX. It's for they make it to paint on the rubber stuff if you're doing costuming.
Huh.
Um, anyway, this one was it's a copper color. I don't know if they call it, yeah, copper plates, what they call it, but it was clearance to $1.24. And since copper is my favorite metallic, I bought it. Barbara says, Lisa, read Lisa's comment above. I have some similar paints, Lisa. Vintage by Ranger discontinued. Make sure that you clean your brush quickly when using them. They're great for painting charms. Thank you, Lisa. That's great. And thank you, Barbara, for making me notice that better. I'm sorry. Barbara still doesn't have any oxide inks. Well, you can survive without them, I promise you, Barbara. They're not something you have to have, but I do love mine. And then I got these 3 colors. It'll be easier, I think, to see them like this. Of this paint
So,
because they were clearanced. And this is Folk Art Treasure Gold. This one's called Fire Opal. It looks like copper and red to me. This one is Aquamarine. It's kind of a more green than blue, and then this one's more blue than green, and it's called Blue Quartz. So, anyway, they're metallic-y paints, but they're I love using copper with the blues and greens, and so that works out well. Um, Sorry, this is taking so long, y'all.
no,
She's working
I'm,
away, and I'm just
well,
showing.
I just thought that since you were sharing, that I would just, yeah. So
Yeah,
I've
no,
been trying to get through these. So,
I'm glad you're
you know,
working, but
I'm
um,
I'm enjoying listening. I wanted to ask real quick before you show the next thing. What makes
okay.
the oxide inks important? What is about oxide inks?
Well, the oxidation thing when they reactivate with water, so you have to know that when you're using them, so you don't mess something up by, like you use and make what you want and you get it exactly like you want it, and then you decide to put matte medium over it, you might mess it up. But if you like the oxidizing effect of putting the ink down and then spraying water on it, it does some cool things. I'll get some out and
Okay.
play with it in a few minutes, so you
Yeah,
can.
I don't,
Um,
I'm curious.
but I also got this little set of charms. They're keys and locks. Some of them are kind of antique silver, some are bronze, and some are copper. But they're all on jump rings, so you can take them off and add them to anything. And they were reduced to 99 cents. Then I got these really pretty metal beads that are they're like a patinaed copper, so they're green and copper. Anyway, I love those. So those were reduced to $1.74. I was going to see what they say they were originally, $6.99. So, and then I also got these to put on journals. There's some pretty charms there, but they'll open both ways, so you can put them on a closure. And then these words are in leather, and they say strong, brave, and beautiful. Anyway, those were clearance for 99 cents, so I got those. And then I also got some of this leather cord that's clearanced, because sometimes I like to have something like this, and I was out of something like that, so that worked out nicely. Okay, um, and then I also got this. It was clearance for $4.49, and it's soy wax, and people use it to make candles. But I'm going to be doing some encaustic work soon, hopefully.
Oh, you know what? That's like on my bucket list to learn how to do.
Oh, well, you need to play with me then.
Yes. No, really, that's
One
like
of the
on my, yeah.
It's been on my bucket list for years, and I'm finally gathering all this stuff together to do it. But one thing you use the soy wax for is to clean the colored wax out of your brushes.
Oh,
You can use paraffin, but soy is a more natural one, and I wouldn't spend $18 on it, but I did spend 5 or 4.50. So I'm excited about that. Jamie says if you use Distress Oxide glaze, they will stay put. And Louise Heinzel has a technique where they don't move after too. Yeah, I don't have Distress Oxide glaze. I would love to have some of those, but when I've looked at them, when they were like 40% off or something, they're in sets of 3, and there was always at least one of them I didn't really like. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay, almost $20 or 40% off, almost over $10 or whatever for something I'm only going to use 2/3 of, you know.
yep.
So I haven't bought any of them yet. I wish I could buy them individually because there's only one or two I'd really love to have. But anyway, um, no room in the inn. Barbara says I partly called a halt about new different supplies because of a storage issue.
Yep.
I have a handful of different colors of the distress inks, which are water soluble, but I use them rarely. I like the oxides better than the distress inks. I use them. I use the distress inks very, very seldom, but I use the oxide inks all the time. So, oh, the a medium. Okay, I see. I don't know anything about that glaze, so that's good to know. Ooh, that looks good. I like those.
Yeah. Just finish those real quick.
Very
Oh.
nice. And then the last thing I got was some more paints that because when you get on a roll and paint's reduced, you go ahead.
Yep.
These are Deco Art Americana metallics, and they all say bright metallic paint. This one is obsidian, so it's black, but it's shiny, so it's really like I would say it's charcoal gray. Is what I would say. This one is called charcoal, and and it is blacker than the obsidian, and you'd think it would be the other way around, but they're very close to each other. And then I got this one is called garnet, but it's a gorgeous dark purpley pink. Um, and then this one is the copper. No, it's rose gold. It says anyway. So I got those. They were clearanced to $1.99. And that is that's it. That's what I bought. So I guess now I got to move this stuff out of the way. Find the place
I
to
did.
put it.
I picked this up a while ago. I don't remember when, and it was on clearance. I think, yeah, Hobby Lobby. So,
Oh, I
but
haven't
I
seen that.
haven't. Yeah, and this was. I'm sure I got this years and years ago. But yeah, and learning in caustic is one of the things that I really, 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 really want to do to start playing around with. So, um, I mean, it just and I think what appeals to me is just like all the being able to see all the layers and whatnot in it. So,
Yes, I like it too. There's an art. Uh, well, it used to be a shopping center when I was a kid, and then they turned it into a place where everybody could have studios. They split it up into small stores, so you could have studios there and do your art. And then the first Friday of every month, they would have where people would come and you could sell stuff, and everybody walks through and they would have food and all this stuff. So it's a bigger deal to come on the first Friday than it is just rest of the time. But they've torn that down now. They're rebuilding it, and it's supposed to be nicer when it comes back. I don't know if that's gonna be real or not, but
yeah, we have a place like that downtown. It's called Hot Shops, and they have open houses every now and then,
yeah,
and things like that. So I that's another thing that's on my list. Every time that it's happened, have I usually have my kids that weekend and things like that. So I was spending the whole day away at something like that. It's not
right.
feasible, but um,
Well, and the
I,
fun thing is, I mean, this first Fridays is like from 7 to 10
yeah,
in that Friday night. So it's kind of become, a lot of people use it as a date night thing.
right, yeah. They
Uh,
have First Fridays in a little suburb here called Benson, and it's all art themed. And that's another thing. As soon as it's not super super freezing cold, that's another thing I want to start doing too. They have a lot of the local businesses down there that display local artists art and things like that, and a neat theater. And so um, yeah, First Fridays. I think I'm gonna put this one here. I
well, I
pulled
have
this
a
little thing out.
critique for these people. Don't put your instructions on plastic that you can't take off of the item without ripping it, because now my instructions are all ripped. Okay. She says, Jamie says, sorry, it's called distress microglaze. Okay, well, I'll look into that. Um, I'm glad you're here, Jamie, and thanks
Yeah,
for telling us about that. Okay, I don't
yeah,
know
this
how
is
much
empty.
these need to be shook up, but
And all I'm doing is I'm working on in um my little field note size notebook that I have where I've been trying to do a daily collage, and I was doing really good all in January and February. I fizzled out, and so now I'm behind with doing one every day, and I really want to have one to represent every day. So I'm playing catch up right now, but and then hopefully I'll get back into the groove of doing one every day.
Yeah.
But I've just got like whenever I went through, I had two like double sized of these here in my studio that was full of just like packaging, just ephemera type junk, packaging like that thing that you just took off and
Right.
saved. So I had two of those, and they were piled high and just full of years of just collecting stuff. And whenever I was printing out things in my studio, I knew that I needed to do something with that because there's so much in it. I couldn't even, and it was packed so tight, I couldn't see everything that was in there. And I knew that there was probably things at the bottom that I was missing. And so that was one of the things that I organized is I actually went through and organized the bigger pieces by color, and they're all in smaller baskets. And then this one is just like like the little pieces of just stuff, that probably should be thrown in the trash, especially this. So this is like just like small, torn off bits of just whatever. Most of them is like, I mean, there's little tea bags and a lot of just deli paper and things like that. So, and working in this, since I wanted with doing a daily thing when I wanted to, why I started this was just to try to help get just a daily kind of jump start to, to get my creative juices flowing and then move on to other things. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time on all these pages. It's just meant to be like a quick, mindless, don't overthink it, just do stuff. So when I'm wanting to just kind of sit and work on things and not really like plan things or think about things or anything like that, I grab these and I just start pulling stuff out and use the bits and pieces in the trash and whatever to create these pages. So that's what a lot of these, where most of
Well, and
this
they're
stuff
fun
come
because they're
from.
all completely different. It's not like one style
Yeah,
throughout the book.
right. So like this here, I mean, I was like, oh, that pink looks fun. So I grabbed that and this was stuck to it. And I was like, okay, fine. you know, and I
You
liked the
want to
way
be
that it
there,
was all
okay?
right. I was like, okay, that's where you want to be. I'll leave you there. And then this pink, was all folded up like this. So all I did was then grab like two little torn pieces of this deli paper. Actually, this is like a piece of glass bead gel that had dried on my mat that has paint in it. So it's just like weird stuff like that that I throw in here. And then I found that and I just piled them all together. And I have a book where I just go through that I grab words and phrases from and stuff. But that's how that page came together. So, and that's
Oh, that's
how,
pretty cool.
all these are. Even all this is how it was folded in the basket. And so all I did was clip out a sentence and stick it on there. So, but it keeps my mind going and it's relatively stress free. When I start overthinking thinking it, then I try to pull myself back and say, hey, no, that's not what this is. This is just supposed to be relaxing, do some art type stuff. But
It's supposed to be fun.
this is supposed to be fun. And so that's just kind of that's what I've done with these is I'm just kind of rooting through here and pulling stuff
Yeah.
out.
Well, I think
Yep.
it's fun. It's fun to watch too because it's gives us snippets of how your brain works, and that's always
Yeah.
cool.
And then on some, even, on some, all I do is just if I really just like the picture and I find, of words that go with it that I like, then that's all I'll do, and that's okay. At least I still did a little something. And if that's all I did today, then at least I still did a little something, So
Right.
this one, these words I had peeled them off of a different project that I was working on, and I had messed them up, and so I peeled them off and just like they had glue and stuff on them, and I had just stuck them on this piece of deli paper. Well, that ended up in this little basket, and so that's how I found it. That's how I found this, and so that's how I used it on the on the page. So I just stuck it on there. So um, that
Brittany says that's a neat little collage book, and I
it
agree.
is. It is, and this is my second one, so I've already completed. I've already completed one, and that's the other kind of neat thing about working in a book this small is that it doesn't take forever to fill it up. There are 40 pages in here, and I have a bazillion of these little notebooks because I get them on a subscription, so I get a new one every month. And I've been collecting these. This one's, well, gosh, I've gotten these for years. I probably have 6 years worth of these. This one's from 2019. But it doesn't take long to fill up a little book. So
Especially if you do it every day.
great. So since I'm home this week, my goal is to get back on track with this, and when I get caught up, then every day get back into that doing this every day. So I've got a collage page on my collage journal I need to put together that's been sitting here. But it's got a really, really, really fragile thing I'm getting ready to glue down, and I don't want to do that in public. I guess I'm afraid I'll mess it up.
Yeah.
But with people watching, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to mess this up. And it's really super delicate. So um, I'm just like, nope, because I want to put this together because it's been sitting on I got this all cut out at the last art group thing that I went to. I got
Oh
my
yeah,
flowers
I
cut
remember you
out.
showing me.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it was in the
So,
video where you showed it. That's
yeah.
incredible. Put that on a piece of
Yeah.
white paper
So,
so people can see. That's
yeah. So
awesome work.
I'm, um,
I
you
am
can't
so
see.
glad that I saw you with that because I I have a book with those big flowers in it and I wasn't sure how to use them.
Yeah.
But now I know that is an awesome way to use them. So I need to get that book down and do one. It takes a while to cut those out though, I bet.
It does. It does, but I really enjoy doing it.
Hi,
It's
Jamie.
very I it's very meditative for me, and I do mess up and I do tear them often, and I don't know if you can see. I just kind of I'll cut if I rip part of it apart, I'll just cut like a strip of paper. You can kind of see right there across that leaf, but I'll just cut a strip of paper, and just kind of put a little band-aid there and glue it back together.
Yeah.
So I don't like
Well, it
over
looks
stress
great.
it.
From the front, you can't
Yeah,
even tell.
yeah, exactly. So I don't like get super upset if I rip it because since it's so delicate, I know it's going to happen. I just make, or if I've got a part that's super, super thin, I'll go ahead and put a little band-aid on there. But yeah, so I got to glue this down. I might do that tonight. But that's how I wanted with the way that she was standing, and I saw flowers around her. I thought it'd be neat to have them to where, it looked like she was just kind of encased in some flowers. And I do have parts of this cut so that I can, tuck things in behind her hair, behind her, so it looks like it's coming all around her. But
Okay, this is
so I
weird.
think, oh, there. So what have you got going?
Well, I'm
What
trying to
pen are you
use
using?
this kit of designer finishes, and it said the first thing it says to do is to put this tin, and maybe it's just not stirred up good on there, but it just looks like clear shiny. I mean, it didn't do a whole lot. It certainly didn't look like tin. So I'm sure these were on clearance because they've been sitting around a long time.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure
Let
it
me
needs a
get
good shake.
let me get something. I'm gonna try to stir rather than shake because shaking's taking forever. Okay. Oops. Yeah, this
Mary's
is
gonna go
better.
make cookies, she says.
Ooh, yay, Mary.
Mm. I made some frosted banana bars the other night. I helped with our at church for supplying desserts for funerals and stuff, and so I made these frosted banana bars and saved a couple for the kids and I. And oh my goodness.
Probably a good thing that you took them somewhere, isn't it?
I know. I only saved one for each of us. I was like, that's it. That's all we're getting. The rest of them are going to church because we don't need this in the house. They had cream cheese
I
frosted
remember when I was
bananas.
growing up and mom would make a pie or a cake or something, I would say, "Who died?" Because I knew she was taking them to a funeral or something, so she didn't make it for us, except on holidays.
Yep. Yep. Anymore, that's kind of how I am. The kids are
Yeah.
like, what's up? What's going on? I used to bake all the time, and I don't do it a lot anymore unless I have a funeral or some sort of function that I've got to take
Yeah,
it
some
to.
kind of
So,
party or something.
yep.
It might would have been better to do this on a something bigger so you could see, um, maybe see it the effects better. So I would probably need to do something bigger as well. Oh, I know just the thing. Okay, but I'm going to do those letters too. Okay, let me. Where did I put it? That's always the hard part, remembering where I put it. Oh, okay, Lisa. Think, think, think.
I don't know if I'm a butterfly there or a flower. Hmm.
I had hoped Tanya was going to be able to come on with us today, but she can't. She's got to do some stuff for her father-in-law. So, um, but maybe she can come Thursday. Okay. Well, that's frustrating because it would have been the perfect thing to work on. I can find it. I have some of that Tim Holtz grunge board that would have been great to use this with, but I don't know. I got some of it out and used it, and then it didn't get put back where it was supposed to be. I'm going to look for a minute more. If I don't find it, I'll just work on something else instead. But I thought that or some watercolor paper that's been embossed, something that's pretty sturdy and has some texture to it is kind of what I'm looking for. But I know where my embossed watercolor paper is, and it is not reachable at the moment. Hmm. Okay. Well, can't believe that I managed to hide that so thoroughly. Well, so now I'm trying to think what should I put it on? That's my first two plans are not working out.
What are the options?
Oh, well, I think I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard and work on it. But what I these letters is one of the things I wanted to do because I thought they would be. I wasn't thinking about how hard it would be for everybody to see the um, the effect on these letters, and so I wanted the grunge board, but I can't find it. So I think I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard because it has, um, it'll have some texture. Okay. Uh, I have that little bitty corrugated cardboard, but I think I want something bigger. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do this stuff. Never enough space to actually work.
No, there's not. That is the truth.
I don't think I need um, probably should just do something in the middle of it. That's what I'm going to do. I can do something on the outside edges later. Well, I feel like I'm moving in slow motion today.
I've kind of been off all week, so and then today was and my first day of not working as far as for spring break. So, um, but I had to get up this morning because I'd forgotten that I had scheduled my annual physical today this morning at 8 o'clock. So I didn't even get to sleep in.
Oh,
So, but well, I got that done. So I've been up and kind of moving. My arms are getting sore though. I got a shot in each arm, so
ow.
I'm feeling kind of achy. Give me my single shot. So that's my first one of that round. And my tetanus booster or something. Since I'm in the kitchen, I'm clumsy and I'm always cutting myself. So I have to make sure I keep that up to date.
Yeah, is that still a every 10 years thing, or are they?
Yeah,
What's the
yep,
recommendation on that?
yep, every 10 years. So,
That's what I thought.
and since I work around kids and things like that, so some of them yeah, gotta get the little ones.
Oh, I think I missed Brenda. Hi, Brenda. I am so sorry. You've been here quite a little while, and I just now realized it. I'm glad you're here. Sorry it took me so long to.
And I've been working away and not looking at chat. So hello everybody who's come in. I like that, but I just need to put that there. I'm starting to overthink it.
Okay. I'm gonna. Well, I wanted to leave that, but I didn't. I forgot I was going to leave that.
Hi, Deanie. Coffee sounds good. I've got a somewhat cold cup going myself.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing about hot drinks for me is I always let them get cold and then I don't want them. So I just drink cold drinks and don't worry about it. Okay. We're going to use this piece here and we may do some other stuff on it too, but we're going to try that 10 kit on this. She needed that coffee, she says.
I can't use that as an excuse anymore because I've completely switched over to decaf, so I can't, you know, say that I'm moving
Sometimes
slow
you
because I
still
haven't had my
need it.
morning
It's
coffee
a
yet.
psychological thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, but I just can't say, well, I'm moving slow because I haven't had my coffee yet. It's like, well, it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. Switched over to decaf. So I'm just moving slow. I was being home. Well, it just gets so cold here and I get chilled. And so then I just start craving something hot to drink. And I got
Yeah.
really in the bad habit of drinking way too much coffee every day. And I was like, okay, I need to reel it in a little bit. And I switched over to at least decaf so that I'm not, because I would be wanting one at, 8, 9 o'clock at night. So can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I drink my black tea only until about 3 o'clock, and then I go to green tea and herbal tea after that. Not because, I mean, not necessarily because of the caffeine, but because um, the black tea gives me reflux issues if I have it if I drink it late.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, we're going to, all right. I just want to get, we'll just do that one.
Barbara, oh, Brenda, do you know if are there any side effects to this shingle shot? Because my coworker was talking about how she was needing to get her booster, but with her first one, I guess she made her really not feel good. And so whenever my doctor told me today that I was where I need to start doing that, she, um, I was like, I don't want to ruin my spring break by, feeling bad from having some sort of reaction to the shot, but I went ahead and did it. My arms are just really sore, but um, she tried to kindly tell me that I was of age to where I had to do that. It'll be double nickels next month, so it's getting real with all that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Let's now I got to see what the second one says to do. Mix 4 to 1 10 with texture sand. Okay.
Texture sand.
Yeah, that's what this is. Texture sand medium. It was one of the things in the little kit.
You're untangling cords to bind a leather journal with 4 signatures. Plainest to weave. Braided X. Oh, that's gonna look really neat. One of
Okay.
my
I
signatures
think
in
I
my big
overdid it.
cloth
I
journal
forgot I
coming
was
done.
needing 4 times as much other stuff. Um, so we'll move this over here and we might do something else with it later. Hi, Kathy. Now I'm mixing the texture sand in with the tin paint.
Hi,
And
Teresa. Hi, Kathy.
I just roughly put some out here. I did not measure to make sure I had 4 times.
Uh-oh. Didn't
So
measure.
nope, nope. This is how I roll. We're just gonna deal with it. Okay.
Hi, Teresa. I am working in my little booklet that I'm doing daily collages in it. I've had gotten behind. So I've just got baskets full of scraps of this, that, and everything in between. And I'm just grabbing things out of the baskets and putting them together to make these little collages. And Lisa's playing with a new supply that she got at Hobby Lobby on clearance.
Yep. It's called distressed tin or something like that. Okay. Now I got my letters with that stuff on them so I won't forget. I think I'm going to end up going over the whole thing with this distressed tin because I made way too much. so so we're going to have a whole tin panel here except the only this part's going to be have gone through all the steps because I didn't put the plain paint over on the rest of it. So we'll see. We'll see if how much difference it makes.
Mary, what
This
kind of cookies
this
are you
kit,
making?
the deco art thing that was clearanced at Hobby Lobby for those of you who weren't here when I was telling about it earlier. Okay, there's still some left. Good grief. All right, let's move these. There we go. We're just gonna paint this on this piece of paper. Who knows? It might end up getting used for something.
Pencil. paper. Hi, Beth. How are you?
Hi, Beth. I'm glad you're here. Okay, now then, I'm going to pick up this other black stuff that was on there. And the rest of this sandy stuff. Mix it up. All right. Well, there's that. Let me put this in water because this has got to all dry some before I can do anything else. While I can still do it, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this out. And I can use it for the other two steps as well. Okay. Hi, Teresa. I'm glad you're here. I'm so happy all of you came to play with us.
Yeah.
Okay. What you making? I'm just playing with this stuff. I don't know that it's going to be anything, but if it's something, it'll be a cardboard art piece. Next media, something on this piece here. And I'm just putting my extra stuff over here on this piece of paper. And I'm also making these little letters that says spell out metal. And I'm going to put them on here. So that's all I know at the moment.
That's what Lisa's doing. I'm working in my little collage book that I've got here that I do my little daily collages. So just pulling out
Hi,
pieces of
Renee.
whatever.
I'm so glad you're here.
Like this is just a squished wrapper to a little piece of chocolate.
Oh, that's
So,
pretty.
and then I just stuck this twine on it that was in my basket and pulled out a piece of uh, mulberry paper, which is kind of cool because this mulberry paper's got gold
Yeah,
flecks in it,
perfect.
which go with the gold that's on this
Renee
little
said
candy
she's
wrapper.
exhausted. She's an exhausted lurker. Well, just rest, Renee. Just rest if you can.
Yep, rest is important.
I guess I could use my heat gun to try to speed this process up. Okay, I'm going to mute. So you just chat away, Diane, while I mute and dry.
All right. It does look like it goes together, Beth. That's what, well, and when I was looking through my basket, this little piece caught my eye. So when I'm working on these little collages and I see a piece that catches my eye, as I'm trying to find things for something else, I try to set it off over to the side so that I've got it out. And then if other things kind of seem like they want to go with it, I just start building little piles of stuff. And then I'll try to just gather them up all together and make a little gathered collage thing out of it, which I guess is pretty much kind of what most of the the things are in this little book are just these little gathered bits of stuff. I haven't really done a lot of collage. type things in it. Only a couple, which I might do one of those next. I've been doing a lot of these things lately. Um, like this right here. So, but most of them are, I think I will. We'll add some pictures next. I've done a bunch of these little gathered ones. These are all the ones that I've done the past couple days for these. So this here was just little pieces of um, fabric tape and then just like pieces of washi tape that were stuck on the edge of my work area. So little just from just the edges from a spiral when I was tearing the pages out of a spiral. So things like that. I don't remember the name of the product, Kathy, so we'll have to wait till Lisa's back because she showed us all sorts of fun things. I don't remember what it's called. I kind of think I see something green behind that, but I'm not sure. So,
Kathy, I got this at Hobby Lobby clearance. It's Deco Art Designer Finishes, and this one is oxidized tin. They had some bigger sets that were for other things that had like 8 steps or something, and they were reduced too, but they weren't as cheap as this one, so I just got this one to play with. Anyway, that's what it is. It's only $5.99 normal, so it's not really expensive even normally, but I got it for $1.49, so I was willing to pay an experiment price to play with it. So okay, I think that's mostly dry. I'm gonna let it sit just a little bit more. Um, wash my hands here. I'd never heard of it either, but I was looking at the clearance stuff and I needed some paints, so I was looking at paints and they had these, kits sitting there and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Let's try it." So,
why not?
why not? If it goes well, see, then y'all can go look for it if you want to play with it. If it goes badly, then you know not to spend money on it. So,
Thank you, Kathy. I really love these little books too. I have a lot of fun working in them. So it's it's um it's just I don't know if soothing is the right word for it, but it's just nice just to sit and like work in it and not really think about much of anything else. So and it's helping me use some of my stuff. I've been collecting and hunting and gathering for so long and just letting stuff pile up. It's like, well, I've collected all this stuff to actually put in my journal, so I need to start walking the walk instead of just, collecting stuff. Except these little stickers are so hard to get apart.
yeah. I got some stickers that are plants, I mean, and they were clear, and I thought I really was going to love them, but they were shiny.
Yeah.
So I didn't really love them on pages because, it's not like
Huh.
just the plant is shiny. It's like the whole little thing, in
Oh,
between the stems and everything was shiny.
right.
Um, and so I was like, well, I may have to try to put matte medium or something over those and see if that'll unshine them.
Yeah, I
But
don't know if I like that either.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But then I saw someone, and they had bought some, and they didn't really like them, and they put some pages with acetate specifically in a journal so they could use those on there because then they match the page, because the acetate is kind of shiny like the,
Right.
and so that it looked like it belonged on there, and I thought, okay, that's good. Brittany says that matte medium should unshine them. Well, I'm going to try it and see, but Kathy's going to lurk mode. Okay, Kathy. Jamie says clear gesso works better than matte medium, so that's good to know. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie's got lots of wisdom, and she
Uh, yes, she
nicely
does.
imparts it to us so we can be almost as wise as her. She always knows good techniques and things that I don't know, so I'm always glad to have her helping me out. This is just on the paper, but you can see the sandy stuff. In some of it is sandy. And you can see the sandy stuff, on this too, somewhat. But it doesn't show up as much on the little letters. But it's there. Okay, it says the next step is to mix this black paint, with 4 parts water.
Huh.
And that's not very helpful because I have to then decide what's 4 parts water.
This is a very multi-stepped process, that's for
It,
sure.
it is a multi-stepped process. Makes you feel like you've really worked hard on something when you get
Yeah.
finished, I guess.
I feel like we're going to have a test on it afterwards to make sure we get everything in the right order.
There you go. Nope, no tests.
Good.
No tests. Lisa does not want to deal with a test. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay, we're gonna say that's 4 parts water. I don't know. Lisa says Tim Holtz was showing shiny things this weekend on YouTube, trying to make shiny cool, I guess. Huh. Well, I may have to go look at his video. Well, I'm glad I put this inside something like this. I may not have put enough water in this. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Okay. And anyway, we're going to paint it over it. It just says paint it over it. I think that's how it says it. Paint over surface, let dry. Okay.
Oh, you'd let it dry. Wow. Huh.
Well, because you're going to go back over it with white done the same way before you're finished. So I don't know. And this is, when you water it 4 times as much water as paint, it's pretty wet. And I don't know if this was made to, use on boxes or furniture, or I don't know what it was made for. I was going to see if it tells you. Yeah, it doesn't say. So I guess you just use it for whatever you want. I'm doing these very messily because there's not a good way to do them neatly. Okay. Now I'm going to move this over here and put the rest of this down um, on this paper. That may be too much. We may have to pour some of it off. I don't know. Yeah, I think we got a little bit too much on there. Okay. Where is We're going to do this and see. That might make it more fun anyway. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of dab on those. Okay. Hi, Tanya. I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, Tanya.
Um, Hi,
A
Cindy.
close up.
Cindy wants you to do a close up.
Yeah, I just
Just
finished it.
come towards your left a little bit. There you go. Perfect. That is beautiful.
Thank you. So there's this vellum sticker. This is uh tissue, kind of like, well, it's brown tissue. I don't know what it's from. It might be from work. We have, like at the whenever you go to the bakery or whatever, and they wrap the food in those little pieces, of tan deli type
Right.
paper. Anytime one of those hits the floor, I snag them. So I think that might be what this is.
Yeah. Well, that's
Um,
cool.
and then yeah, and some mulberry paper that's got little gold strips of paper in it, a chocolate wrapper that still has the label on it, and then a little vellum butterfly. And I didn't take the sticky part off the back of the butterfly. I just put one of those gluey gooby dots on there.
Uh-huh.
I've started doing that a lot because that way I can keep it dimensional, and
Yeah.
'cause
That's
that's
smart thinking.
yeah, and so that way I don't have to, and I don't have to worry about it getting damaged or anything if I took it off. That's one of I'm extremely tactile, and I like having. That's why so many. That is why these are all so. It's like so I can literally just kind of go through here and
Yeah.
mess with things. Like I don't glue all of stuff down like anywhere. I leave it so unless it's a collage type thing. But if
Yeah.
it's any of these things, I can literally just kind of go through here and fiddle with all of
Seeing
this
you
stuff.
doing that has given me an idea. So I'm going to tell you about my idea
Oh, yeah.
since you sparked it.
Yeah. Well,
And
and
that
this
is
is
to
just a
have a book and make clusters like that and glue them or staple them or whatever together and then just staple them into the little book so I can take them back out and use them on something else if I want to.
oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because I kept looking at those thinking those are so adorable. And you touching them is fun, but it might also
Yeah.
be fun to add them onto something else. Um, if that was your purpose. Now your purpose isn't, is right now is to fill up that book. But
Right.
anyway,
Um, but yeah, yeah. So then this is just a knotted piece of twine that came off of something. I didn't take the knot out or anything. I just left it as it was. And then I've got a book that I just kind of go through and clip out a sentence, a part of a sentence that just kind of seems like it would go there. So um, this one's part of a label off of a little French soda can bottle. So
yeah.
but where I started doing these types of little clusters of stuff was in my junk journal, my big junk journal.
Uh-huh.
And when I, then as I was trying to like work more with white space, is when I started kind of doing these types of little collages in here. So, my goal is to not have the whole thing covered because so much of my other stuff, even in my mixed media journal, the whole thing was covered with paint or,
Yeah.
and in my
Well, that kind of
yeah,
shows them off more to have that
yeah,
not all covered.
yeah. But and this
I'm
is
gonna
where I
make them
started.
big, and then I'm
Oh,
gonna dry stuff while you show that because I want people
okay,
to see that better.
yeah.
So I'm gonna
But
mute for
so
a minute.
in this, when I started working in this is my first junk journal. But when I started working in this, I had told myself I was going to keep everything flat, and that lasted. I don't know why that's in there. Um, that lasted for a few pages, and then I started getting tired. Oh, I know why these are in here. These are the pages that they published. This has been published in Art Journaling magazine, and they apparently have sticky notes on the pages that they published. So that's what these are. Um, but um, that's kind of where I started doing these, just grouping real thick clusters of things in my journal, and that's why this is such a beast. And I need to do a flip through of this. I have not done a flip through of it. Um, I I and it's not even quote unquote finished. Like there are pages in here that don't have anything on them. And that it's okay, obviously, because there's so much in here. I haven't looked through this since I had sent it in. But this this is my first junk journal that I did. It's like this one doesn't have anything on it, and it doesn't need anything on it since it's just that flower page. Um, and I've got lids. This is the foil off of like the top part. Whenever you take off the foil around a bottle of wine, that's what that is. It's got a moon on it. But that is where I kind of started doing these sticker type collages, and then I got tired of just trying to fill up the page with everything, and so then I migrated into the little book. Um, and started doing pages in it. But yeah, I'm quite sure that these stickies are here because these are the pages that they published or that they at least took pictures of um, to use. So the next junk journal that I made though, I'm pretty sure that I put in half as many um, pages in it in hopes of keeping me from um, having it being so incredibly thick. So um, yeah, no doubt I can save the stickies and leave them in something else. But there's a whole lot in here. I was going through a lot mentally and personally with everything that was going on at home. So there's a lot of really, 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 really heavy stuff in here. This is a wrapper from some chopsticks.
So did you send them the
So
whole book and they chose pages they wanted?
yeah, I sent this whole thing in, and then and it's difficult when they do that because they say, "Hey, congratulations, you're published," and but then they don't tell you what images that they have chosen to publish. And they're like, "Okay, you need to write a 700 to 900 word article to go with this journal," and it's like, okay, well, you know, and so you kind of have to write it somewhat blindly because because you don't know what pages, you can't like focus on any certain pages from it because you don't know which one they use. You just have to kind of do an all-encompassing type,
Yeah.
article about it.
Wow. Yeah, that would be difficult.
So it was difficult, but this is where I really started using clothing tags a lot. Like this is a clothing tag. Um, so I have not done a flip with this yet. I need to, and it's probably going to have to be maybe a four-parter because it's
Yeah.
going to take a while to go through and so
You could do one
so
short version where you just show it
yeah,
and give general information, but don't talk about each page specifically, and then do a set of
right,
them about each page,
yeah,
because there are people like me who are gonna wanna know about each page, and there are people who just wanna look. So,
want to look right. And
you
this is
know
all because, and I was using a lot of pictures that I found off Pinterest, but then like this one is me. I was trying to start incorporating, more of my own
Uh-huh.
pictures and stuff in there too. So, um, but yeah, it's yeah, because I mean, some of this stuff's kind of interesting. Like this is a piece of packing tape, you know, packing tape transfer. Somebody had sent that to me. There's I've got tea bags in here. Like these two are both my pictures. Um, here's this one I had made. I was making kombucha at the time, my own, and you brew a bunch of tea, and the tea, all of the little tea bags had gotten all tangled up together, and so I saved that because, of course, they were all tea stained from being in the tea, and
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
a great
that's what
idea.
that's what this is. So these are just all of the feelings that I was feeling at the time. Just kind of so that's uh, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it would there's a whole lot that I could talk about with this. So that's a napkin. Um, this is packaging from some makeup. Another tag. I think that opens. It's been a while. No, it doesn't open. It's been a while since I looked through this, but it's very stressful to send things in, especially this because since this had so much of stuff that was going on, and it's full of a whole lot of feelings and emotions, and it was difficult to send in. This is a Linder chocolate wrapper.
Yeah. Well, it'd be
Um,
difficult to send anything in for fear that it might not get
it
back,
gets right. Yep.
but
Yeah.
something that's that personal would be even more so.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it was a lot. It's yeah, it's a lot to send in. That's a
Teresa says that's one of those life goes on journals.
yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yep. Yep. So kind of yep. That's where I went. This is actually a real butterfly. I had found that it's interesting. Um, I was trying to kind of figure out what I was doing and where I should go and just as far as with my art and things like that. And obviously and butterflies, if you look in my any of my stuff, butterflies are huge, especially my collage stuff. And it always, has a lot of significance to me. And I was kind of trying to decide if I wanted to pursue as far as actually starting, my own art business type thing. And, and I was toying around with the idea of having a butterfly on my logo. And like later that day, I found this, like it was just laying in my garage. So I was like, okay, I guess if that's my sign, then all right, this is what I'm supposed to be doing is heading in this direction. So, um, but yeah, anyways, see, like this one's never was never finished. There's stuff in here that doesn't um, that wasn't ever finished. So that this is from this one that says Frida. There, it's actually from a pair of socks. So I've gotten some Frida socks.
I didn't know
Um,
they had Frida socks.
they do. I have two pairs.
Oh, very cool.
Um, um, yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of where I started experimenting and playing around with just doing these big kind of clustery type things. And why I was saving all that stuff was, to use in here. But then I stopped doing all of that, and so this one's me. There's a few, scattered in here and there that I've taken my own photo, and that one's me. But that's me. So, anyways, yeah, I need to do a flip.
Well,
But
that's
now,
an
like,
amazing journal. Thank you for sharing it with us.
yeah, same. And so the one that I've started on next, my goal is to only use my photos in it, photos that I've taken. So that's the goal for my other one. And I haven't done very many pages in it. I've got all sorts of ideas brewing around um, for ones that I want to do in it that I haven't. I need to start working in this one again. So this is this is just recycled paper from work. I get paper all the time from work since I'm in the cafeteria. There's always sheets of paper in between just the different things as far as that I use for salad bar and things like that. So I try not to throw that away. But this is June 7th, 2021. So it's past time for me to start working in this. So um, I've got another one in here somewhere. So
And
yeah,
now I'm
so
doing
these
the
are,
last step, which is mixing white with the water, and then I'll brush it over. So just showing y'all that I'm really doing it. I'm really mixing it.
but I do have some of these, more of these made up because I had a bunch that I was selling that I have in my shop to sell. So
Uh-huh.
that's pretty much what my junk journals are made out of. It's just I always try to put some printed vellum in there. I don't like using really old vintage paper because it just crumbles, it just starts falling apart. It just can't, with what I throw on it and how thick I make things, it can't stay together. But I always put rose pages in there and florals and joss paper and matte paper and things like that. So transparencies if I have them. So I need to start working on this again because I enjoy it. So, anywho, so much to do. And well, as soon as it's mid-May, I will have time because then I'll be on summer vacation. So,
Yay.
yay.
Now, it didn't save to pad it up, but I did anyway because I wanted to take some of it off.
So the black is dried.
Yeah, the black's
Or
dried. I
wait,
put
where?
the white on,
Okay.
and now I'm letting the white dry.
So the white went over the black.
Over the top
Okay.
of the black, yeah.
And what are you going to do with that page?
I don't know. Depends on how it looks.
Okay. It's experimenting. We're experimenting.
That's right. If it looks bad, we'll throw it away.
Oh, I was going to do a picture. I'm going to move over. I'm going to migrate to doing a couple pictures, I think now. I've done a bunch of these little collages. Oh, my basket of goodies here. Oh, goodness. You are very, very welcome, Rain Girl. Very, very welcome. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. I'm awful with names.
Cindy is her
Awful,
name.
awful. Indy, and I'm not in around enough for all the streams, so I don't have the opportunity
To learn them.
to learn them. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. As soon as I'm on summer breaks, then I'll have a little bit more time to think. Hopefully, hopefully.
Well, you've done quite a few videos lately.
I have,
I'm
and I
very
need
impressed
to.
with your output.
I go through spurts, but a lot of that is just because, I've got the weeks that I have the kids, I just don't have time, you know, to, and to, to just do any of that stuff. And my daughter's, a roadie for show choir, and they've had a bunch of competitions this past month or so. And, so she's a roadie, so she helps backstage. And, but still their things last hours and hours and hours. And so yeah, on kid weeks I just don't have time, and on non-kid weeks, and I'm trying to catch up for things that I didn't get done on kid weeks. And but as soon as it's summer break, I'm I need to get in a good schedule. But um, because I do enjoy doing it, and I'm getting ready to start, you know, I mean, there's no shortage of anything art related here in Omaha to do. There's probably something almost every night, that you could do. But it's so crummy and cold outside, but as soon as it starts warming up, I want to start getting out and taking everybody along, like the one that I did when I went to the gardens a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. So,
Yeah. That was
um,
fun.
I'm gonna, on my list, I'm gonna try to do it this week, is they're having the Quilters Guild is having a modern art quilt show, at one of the galleries, and I really, really, really want to go see that. So, um, that's on my list for almost next, probably. And I'm going, since I'm home this week and I don't have my kids this week, and I don't work either job this week. My I work tonight, but my night job, they're going on break this week also. And so, I knew that I needed to do something to help get myself out of the house, or I'd start getting low, because it gets lonely here and quiet, and I start getting down. So I, on a whim, bought myself a ticket to go see Les Miserables, Wednesday night at our big fancy theater. So I'm super excited about that because I've never seen it before. So
That sounds wonderful.
and it's going to be a big deal because I've been doing things on my own, and some of, for me, are pretty big things, but this is going to be pretty big. But I'm really super excited, and since it's just me, if I was able to get a really, really, really good seat up close, because there every here and there there'd be just like one spot scattered, you
Right.
know, around an open spot, and then I was like, oh, I should see if there's any seats, and I was like, oh, there's not going to be any. It's going to be sold out. It's this week, and lo and behold, there was a seat like on the front row of the second level of the theater, which is some of the best ones. And I was like, okay, I guess this is meant to be. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do Monday night.
Well, that's cool. One time back when I was single many, many moons ago, I I took a trip. I was going driving to Indiana to see my aunt and uncle, and I decided to go through and spend a couple of days in Branson, Missouri because I had never been there. And And so
I'm
I'd be
laughing
able to
because that's
go,
where I'm laughing because that's where I'm from.
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I'm
So
not from
I went
Branson, but I'm
and
from Springfield.
I got I was able to get a ticket because it was just me, and I could
Yeah.
get a really good ticket because it was just me. And
Yep.
so there are some bonuses to going by yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
But I went to see, is it Soji Kabuki or
Yeah.
Soji?
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
awesome. That was an
Yeah.
awesome show. I enjoyed it so much.
I've always heard that he's one of the best show. If you're going to see a show in Branson, that he's like one of the ones that you need to go see.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I was glad that was the one I chose because it was incredible. Okay, I'm
yeah.
going to
Yep.
do some of this, and I'm going to do some copper and this green to kind of make you know an oxidized copper in with the tin. And I think I'm going to do the copper in the um, corrugated parts.
Oh, that'll be
Or should I
cool.
leave the corrugated parts tin and do the copper in the on the other? What do you think?
I don't know.
Barbara says the walk through the garden was great. Take us on a walk through the quilt show, please.
I will. If they allow videoing in there, I will snap some videos for sure. Um, and I figure I'm just gonna start asking when I go places. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm filming a vlog. Is it okay if I video? But yes, I would love, love, love to take you guys with me. So I've seen pictures of some of the ones in it, and it just looks amazing. So
Well, I can't decide.
I don't know. I kind of think maybe the darker would be inside than on the
The
outside of
copper
it.
or the
Whatever, like I don't know which one would appear darker.
yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. That's one of those you just need to close your eyes and grab a bottle and see where
And
it
just go
see
for it,
what.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I think because I've done these with this, I'm going to do all of this part with the turquoise and copper. That way I can just put this back on there and it'll show up. So that's my plan. Let's see if I'm going to end up ruining this.
There's no ruining it. There's only happy mistakes.
Okay. Sometimes my mistakes are not so happy. But usually I end up fixing them. I don't end up having to throw them away usually. So,
Well, and even if it didn't totally work, you could tear off pieces of it or,
yeah,
kind of
that's true.
salvage stuff from it to combine to incorporate into other things. Yeah, well, I'm from Springfield, so Springfield's 30 minutes north of Branson. So I pretty much spent my childhood and a lot of my life because there's nothing to do in Springfield, and at the time there was things to do in Branson. It's nowhere near like what it is now, but you get bored and hop in the car and go drive down to Branson and
Yeah.
mess around, and then when I was there, they didn't have the Branson Landing, so you could go down Main Street and basically drive into the lake if you didn't stop, and you can't do that anymore. But you go to the lake, and there's a place there that I've been getting fudge from since as long as I can remember, like from back all the way in elementary school. And so anytime I'm in Branson, I always go there to get my fudge. And um,
That's good.
anytime when and when we were after I got married and moved away, we were stationed out in California, and anytime mom would go to Branson, she would always pick some fudge up from me and then mail it to me. And she had it down on the right way to mail it to me so that, it stayed fresh and good. So, but anytime she'd go to Branson, she'd be like, "I'm going to Branson," and I'd be like, "Please give me some fudge."
You know what I
So
need?
I know I need that fudge, please. So good times there. Apparently, I lost my pacifier somewhere in between Branson and Silver Dollar City. I threw it out the window, and my dad didn't stop the car, so it's there.
Yeah.
It's they looked at me and they
One
said,
of
"Oh
my
well, it's
kids had lost
gone."
their pacifier, I would have stopped the car.
Oh no, I guess they just looked at me and they said, "Oh well, it's gone," and that was it. So my binky's somewhere in between Branson and Silver Dollar City. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Yep.
Well, Ethan, I probably wouldn't have stopped for because he would take any pacifier, and even if it came out of somebody else's mouth, he didn't care.
You didn't care.
Hannah, Hannah had there was only one style of pacifier she would take, and she just cried until you got the right one. And a few times, if especially if she was sick and you
Oh yeah.
didn't have it, oh my goodness gracious! But I was glad to be past that phase.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what it looks like right now.
That's really starting to look cool.
So I like that. I'm wondering about because that's still not going to show up about doing these maybe with some like antique gold or something.
That'd be pretty.
Let's see if I can find something.
This is a good example of how I save everything. So I work at my evening job is working at a Taekwondo studio. And this little tie is what a lot of the belts come in. They come with these ties on them. So anytime any of the kids get a belt and I slip one of these off their belt, I save this because you can open it up and it's this really cool thin plasticky
Oh yeah, that's kind of interesting.
plasticky stuff. But that, it's like, oh wait, so anytime kids start getting belts or if it's belt week and kids are earning their belts and it's like, here, I'll throw that away from you. Slips it in my
I'll help you with
pocket.
that. Yeah.
Oh gosh. But it's real. I mean, I love this stuff. It's shiny and cool. And I was gonna be working on adding images, and somehow I got back onto this stuff. So this one was wanting to come together. So I'm just gonna put it together really quick. And this is just a piece of double-sided paper. I think I can staple this all together and just go from there. It's like I'm working on one thing and another thing starts trying to come together, even though I feel like I'm gonna be doing something else. I try to do whatever's wanting to come out at that minute.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
wait because you might lose your inspiration.
right.
Okay. I don't know if this will ever get used for anything, but makes me feel good to put my extra paint somewhere. So
Yes, exactly. Especially, if it's trying to dry up and we started using something.
yeah.
I know I'm going to be probably throwing away at least half of mine. So it makes me sad, but
Well, I haven't gone through all of it yet, but I've gone through enough to know that uh I'm going to end up throwing away more than I expected to. Okay. Who knows? That might make some die cut something fun. Brenda says, I have 6 kids and none took a pacifier. My youngest two are with the second husband. He tried and tried to get the girls to take one. He thought all babies needed one, poor guy. Well, Me and my brother and sister grew up sucking our thumb, and it was very hard to break because your thumb is always there.
That's right.
So I gave my kids pacifiers because I did not want them to suck their thumbs. Um, because I know how difficult it is. I even had a couple of patients that were still sucking their thumb in college when they would get anxious, and
Oh
they
gosh.
wanted, when I worked for an orthodontist, they wanted to put those rakes in their mouth and things to try to talk them out of sucking their thumb.
Yeah.
And that was such an ordeal. It really that what that those couple of patients went through to try and stop sucking their thumb really made an impression on me. And so I was like, okay, we're going to try the pacifier thing because we could throw that away.
Yeah. I can't I don't I think maybe a couple of mine might have had one for a little while, but we didn't we didn't let it last for any extended period of time. So,
Well, it was easier to get rid of Ethan's um, than it was Hannah's, but he was just easier. She had so many health issues when she was little that anything that comforted her, it just felt mean to take it away from her.
oh, for
And
sure. Yeah.
um, so she struggled for quite a while, um, like with potty training and everything, because she just didn't feel good. And she was like, this is just hard work, and I'm just not feeling it. And so she got to take a little longer because she was struggling with so many things, but she grew up just fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't scar you for life. So I um told my kids when they were older, not when they were little, but the best piece of parenting advice that I ever got was to say yes anytime you can, so that when you need say no, you mean it. And that you know, you don't have to say, "Oh, I said no, but now that I think about it, it's going to be okay." You know, and I did once in a while say no, just kind of because you tend to sometimes say no right off the top of your head,
Yeah.
and then you think, "Oh, it really wasn't that big a deal," or whatever. Um, and so I was like, "Okay, that works for me. I'm gonna only say if I say no, it's a no. We're not gonna argue about it. We're not gonna be discussion or negotiation." But I said yes as often as I could so that it was easier for them to take the no and I didn't have to backtrack.
Right.
This is still not showing up very much. So I think I'm going to make them black. Um, it's time to turn on the fan, Teresa says. It's 81 in here. Well, I think it's time.
Oh my gosh. What?
Brenda says, I sucked my thumb and refused a pacifier until I was 4 and my second brother came along. Then I'd steal his. Mom gave me one of my own and it lasted a few days before I ditched it. Yeah. Once you're 4, you're like, this really isn't all that much fun. Being the baby's really not that special. But it always sometimes feels like the baby gets better, has a better
Uh-huh.
whatever. And okay, this is a metallic, but I'm not sure that's bright enough. And that's too close to the copper. I might could do them in that. I still want it to be metallic-y. Okay, we're gonna try this and see.
Well, I'm not sure what the temperature is here. It kind of had warmed up a little bit over the weekend in the 50s, but I think we're actually supposed to get snow again here tomorrow night. I'm not sure. We're in that lovely space where spring and winter are battling it out up there in
Yes,
Mother Nature land.
it's a it's
So
a
the
daily
fight is
battle,
on.
and you never know what it's gonna
You
be.
don't. Yeah, no idea what it's going to be like. So it's going to be warm one day and cool the next. But I'm ready for it to warm up. It gets super, 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 super cold in my apartment. It's really super drafty, and so I've got that plastic um, stuff over my sliding glass door that goes to my balcony, and so I can't get outside. I can't,
Oh goodness,
and the only
yeah,
way that I can go get a breath of fresh air is to, go down 2 flights of stairs and poke my head out the door. So I'm getting a little stir crazy because I there are times when I want to just go out there and take in a deep breath, but I can't because my doors are glued shut right now. But I'm ready. I'm very, very, very ready for spring. Can't wait for it to warm up. But then also, with where I'm at, and we start getting into severe storm season, and that's not any fun either. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I agree, Kathy. I like listening to storms, and I love look what I just found, thunder and lightning. Um, and we've been having some crazy electric storms. Last year we had a ton. Um, and I love listening to the rain. So that's kind of cool. That might go in my other book.
Yeah, I do too. The only the fact that when it rains, our yard becomes mud,
Mm,
and the puppy brings it as much as possible,
right.
as much as he can. He brings it in the house, and it's like, no. So I have to catch him at the door. Uh, well, I tell you, there's nothing wrong with this paint, even though it's reduced. It's good. So okay, we'll move this, and I may put a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna add a little bit of black um, in here, make it a little bit darker. Not enough to really cover up the tin look, but maybe add to it a little bit. Yeah, I think I like that better. Bye, Mary. Have a wonderful day.
Yep. Bye, Mary. I will be seeing you later. I need to hop in my little car and go go see Mary for reals. That would be
You
fun.
really do. Y'all are close enough.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be fun. I don't live close enough to anybody. People have to drive a while to get here, and right now I don't have time to drive somewhere to visit like that, but I would love to someday.
I've definitely got a little bit of, my mom always called it the wanderlust. So I've I've been I've been cooped up for a while. So there, I was going out of town often, and with it being winter, it's just not smart to go get on the interstate and drive anywhere for long distance.
Yeah,
So kind of like that there. Um, but so now I've got the itch to get out of town because I haven't been anywhere for a while. I was in, I was down in Missouri not too long ago for my uncle's funeral, but that wasn't a fun. That was, you know, not for fun. So
yeah.
I need to go down to Branson and get me some more fudge. See, I'm the only one
There you
now who can like go get my fudge.
go. I just need some fudge. Take it a road
I
trip.
just say fudge. I'm gonna drive seven. I'm gonna drive 8 hours to go down to Branson just because I need my fudge. So,
Barbara says, I have to drive through Amarillo on my way to Plano, Texas to see my sister. Well, you need to go visit your sister so you can drive through here and see me.
yeah, there you go. Amarillo. We lived in Richardson for a very, very short amount of time. So, Texas.
Yeah, I get confused. Is Richardson by Dallas or by Houston?
That's by Dallas.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't positive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My dad got transferred there and got us all moved there, and we were there for a few months. And mom and dad were like, "Nope, this isn't where we want to raise our kids," and they packed us up and moved us back to Springfield. So it was a very short-lived venture.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to mute for a second and dry my words.
So the thing that I remember the most about Dallas is that they had a store somewhere, and it was a left-handed store, and everything in it was made for left-handed people. And I just thought that was like the bestest thing in the whole entire world. Um,
I saw one of those, I think, in San
yeah,
Diego when I went on a
yeah,
trip, and I felt the same way. I was like, this is
I was like, hallelujah, what?
awesome.
Oh my gosh. So that obviously made an impression if that's like the one things that I remember
Yeah.
from there was the silly left-handed store.
Well, when you're
So,
left-handed, you I don't know if you're left-handed, but
oh yeah, yep.
I figure it's left-handed people who like that so much because everything is made for right-handed people, and so
Oh yeah.
it's really cool to see things made for you. I know my mom when I think I was 12 or 13, and she found a pair of left-handed scissors, and she was so excited to get them for me, and I couldn't use them.
I can't either. That was gonna, as soon as you said that, I was gonna be okay. So, can you even use left-handed scissors? Because I cannot. I am completely incapable of using left-handed scissors.
Well, I could
You know,
not then. Somebody gave me a pair a few years ago, and I every once in a while I can use it, but most of the time the paper just bends or the
it's
fabric
awful.
bends. It
Yeah,
doesn't cut,
yeah,
and it's because of the way they're made. You've learned,
yep,
to do it with right-handed
yeah. You,
scissors, and left-handed ones are put together the
yep.
opposite way. So
They are, because it's all where like the side that the higher one, we're used to kind of holding it a little bit angled so that you can see where you're cutting. Um, because yeah, it's wrong. It's upside down. And I had seen that Tim Holtz had come out with lefty scissors, and I had looked at him and looked at him. I was like, and because I was starting to do more and more and more, like really fine collage and just collage in general, and it's like, oh man, I'm getting so tired of this. And I knew that those left-handed scissors were around, so I finally got a pair, and I cannot use them to save my life whatsoever. So I've got these lefty scissors, and I cannot. I get so frustrated looking at them because the the thing's on the wrong side. I
Yeah.
can't do it. And so I don't even try because I don't want to mess up when I'm cutting out.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if it's worth it to try to practice or not. I mean, I've had these guys forever, and that's what I'm used to using. So, but yeah, those lefty scissors, tell you what, that was a big deal. I wasn't going to do stuff like this in here, but I like this girl here, and I need to cover up this text. Hmm. But yeah, that left-handed
So
store
here's
made a
the
massive
letter,
impression on me.
but so you can see them kind of now. But I'm thinking I might want to do it like this.
Oh yeah, that would be, yep, going down the side like that.
I think I like that, and then I may find some other things to put on because it's kind of boring like this. I don't blame you, Kathy. I get jealous every time I see pictures of your place. Um, it you always have such lovely pictures. I'm like, oh, I would love to live there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think two of my out of my five kids, two of them are left-handed. The other three are righties. So
Yeah. Well, both of mine are right-handed. I I think I have one cousin that's left-handed and one uncle that's left-handed, but both of those are on my mom's side, and the cousin that's left-handed is not the daughter of the uncle that's left-handed, which I think is kind of funny. In our families, well, there were 5 kids in my mom's family. So, there's a left-handed person in 3 of those 5 families, but in one family it's me, and one it's my cousin, and then the other one's my uncle. But and my dad was an only child, so I don't know if he has a bunch of cousins, but I don't know if they're left-handed or not. I was reading a article about left-handedness, and they said that about 10% of the population is left-handed, and that really hasn't changed.
huh.
you'd think that it would go up and down or something, but it seems to stay pretty stable all the time, which means that it's not something that's a what's the word? It's not like a fad people or something that's oh, I'm trying to think of the word. Anyway, it's not an evolution or de-evolution because it's not getting less or more. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. Huh.
Brenda says, both my ex and Bo are left-handed. My twins are left-handed. The other four are right-handed. Both husbands had one sister. Both of them were left-handed. All of their parents were right-handed. Well, I remember when I was little and one of my teachers tried to make me right-handed, and my mom came up and said, leave her alone. Just leave her alone.
Just leave her be.
Yeah. But there was that teacher was still she was still falling prey to the old must be something the devil in you or something if you're left-handed
Oh gosh, yeah.
and so my mom had to go talk to her. She was like, don't torture her, make her be to make her be right-handed. Just leave her alone. uh, yeah, see, Kathy remembers. Yeah, it was a real thing. And I think probably kids in my generation were the um let me see how to say this. My cousin is about 7 years younger than I am, and she didn't have that problem at school. So it may be that in the '60s somewhere people wised up. Well, in the '70s, let's say, because I didn't start school till '70. But anyway, she didn't have to deal with that, but I definitely had to deal with it. Okay, I need something else to put on here. I don't know what. It says metal, so I feel like it should be metal something. Hey, Lori. Lori says her grandmother was made to be right-handed. Okay. Oh, I know what might be fun. We'll add rivets.
Oh, rivets would be cool.
Rivets would be cool. Okay, let me see if I can read stuff that I'm supposed to.
You
Okay. See if there's enough of these that I wouldn't have to make anymore. I made a few. That one's too big. Wrapped on the knuckles. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, let's see.
I'm going to mute just for a second. I'm going to go get some water.
That's fine. Okay, this is what I'm thinking about doing for the rivets. But I don't know. I could put some copper on them so they'll look a little more metallic or gold. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that I need to make some and add them to this or not? I have I have these colors. They're different colors of green, and I could use those and then add some gold to them or something. Because I thought I could go, maybe I just need to do down here. Maybe we need them to be in a different place from those. Sue Brown says, "Go for it in copper."
Go for it in copper.
Okay. Well, there's kind of what they're going to look like um, before I copperize them. I have some of them made, so I'm going to leave those. And I'm going to make another one here and a couple more here. So that's 3. And then I'm going to make some to go right here, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All right. Okay, we'll see. I'm going to leave these setting where they are and make some more. And then I'll decide if I've got how many I need, actually. And I'm going to show you what I use to make these. I use a Phillips head screw.
Well, that's brilliant.
Well, it works.
Absolutely brilliant. That's perfect.
I gotta try to light this thing though. Oh, and I need some paper to put it on so that it won't. So I can. Well, it might come up off this. I don't know. It'd be easier if I could bend the paper to get it off, or the wax paper, or whatever. Okay. Lisa says that's a good arrangement. Okay, good. Well, that's I like the green too. The problem is you can't really do a whole bunch of them at once because they have to. Well, I guess I could if I had a bunch of screws, but I only have one sitting here, so. Kathy says, "Are you doing an image transfer there, Di? Removing the paper?"
I am trying to. I have I've done this before with like pictures that I printed. But it's been so long ago and I can't remember like which thing it was. like that I had printed it from, if it was from paper from my little, uh, oh gosh, from this guy, if it was pictures that I printed from this, um, or if it was pictures printed from something else. So these are pictures that I had gotten off of Pinterest and then, just put in the collage app on my phone and printed them out. So these are printed out from my Canon selfie. Um, but I was trying to think of something different to do. And I was like, oh, I should try doing a transfer. Because I've done it before in this guy. So like this one here, this is a transfer. It's hard to tell. I know there's one that you can like really tell that it's a transfer. Wait, that's on packing tape. So I'm experimenting. So I don't know if it's going to work or not. So we'll see. I think this was a transfer. This one. So this is actually the image transferred. You can kind of see through it. So that's what I'm doing. And I think this is the right stuff. So these are pictures that I printed off on my Canon selfie. So there's a kind of a plasticky layer on the back. So I peeled that off. And then I rubbed off the papery part, which is what you can see floating around in here. And now, if I'm careful, I can pull this other plasticky part off, and it's leaving the image stuck to the paper. So yeah, so this is from my Canon selfie, not my Canon selfie. Sorry, I'm getting all of them all confused. Yeah, is that it? Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
So I just kind of picked an image that I wasn't like in love with to make sure that it was, that it would work. Because I was looking at this other one to
Uh,
use actually. So this one will transfer a lot better.
oh, that's
But
pretty.
I love doing transfers, and I love the effect that it gets. So I thought it would be. So now I know. So now I can play around with it more. But this is the plasticky.
Oh, okay.
So
Don't do these on freezer paper. They will not come up. They glue right down. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it directly on here and see if it works because they
what did I
give
do
you a
there?
piece of oh, what do you call it? Uh, marble sometimes in some of the kits to put it on. And this will cool down fast, and so that helps it cool down a little bit too. Can't see very good though. Let's see if we can.
I
That
can't
doesn't.
believe that it stuck to the freezer paper.
I know. I was pretty surprised.
I've also done a transfer with
Nope, comes right off this though. So
well,
okay.
um with a printed napkin. So, the pretty napkins, I thought, well, I wonder if the napkin would work, and it did. So that's what this is a
Wow.
is a napkin onto a thick piece, the 2-inch wide piece of packing tape. So can transfer all sorts of things. I figure, hey, might as well try. If it works, it does, and if it doesn't, then
Yeah.
there you go.
If it doesn't, now you know it doesn't.
And that's it. But that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I
Move
don't know
this
if I
back
want
up
to.
a bit.
I don't know if I'm going to add anything. I don't think I'm even going to add anything to it. I'm just going to put words on it. And that's trying to decide if I want to cut this extra off the top. I really don't mind it on there. So,
I know this is not very exciting. I'm glad I have Diane on here to give y'all something pretty to look at because everything I've done today hasn't really been that pretty.
but we're experimenting, so that's always fun. And
It
everybody
is
gets to
fun.
see what you're working on. So it's always nice to, if you're curious about a product, but not sure if you want to get it or not. So,
It's
or
nice when
even
somebody
just to,
else tries it.
well, and even just to watch somebody experiment with it is always fun.
Yeah. I have to move this because my air conditioner came on and started to blow it out.
Your air conditioner, gosh. I'm like freeze. I'm like standing here freezing to death. I waiting and wishing my heat would hurry up and turn back on. Air conditioner is not fair.
Well, it is actually the heater. It's a heat pump, so it heat and air conditions both. Um, so it is on heat right now,
Okay.
uh, but it's 70 degrees outside, and I have it set on 72 in here, so it came on because it got below 72 in here. So,
Yeah.
so it's not really that I need air conditioning. Yeah, it's just,
Um,
you know, very easy to do. You just have to find something that will come back out. And some things I tried didn't, but this did. And what else did I use? Oh, I used a bolt that worked, and then also this one has a M on it or a W, whatever. I don't know which one it is, but that works too to make a seal. And then because I only have a few of these. I have this one that's like, I don't know, bulrushes or something, and this one that is a dragonfly, and then I have a cross and a little flower, but they weren't in this. They weren't in here. They're sitting over there somewhere. So I have to kind of let this cool back down before I can make more because it when the little screw gets too warm, then it doesn't cool down fast enough. Yeah, you could. You sure could. Do it with any old spoon.
I've done 8 pages while we've been
Wow,
together.
good.
That's awesome.
And
I,
I'm gonna have
I'm,
to get off here at 4:30. So
yep, I gotta go to work at 5:30. So, okay, wait, how many? There's 28 days in February. Okay.
this
So,
year there is.
March.
Brenda says we have thick walls. It's 80 outside, but chilly in the house. 68 in the living room. 76 in the dining room. The sun is shining on the back side of the house. I'm shivering a little and want to go flip on the heat. Yeah.
In the summer, I run my AC as less as I can because I would rather be warm than cold. So I keep it pretty warm in here. When the kids are here, I'll bump it down just a little bit, because they're used to it being cooler over at their dad's. But even then, I think they get too cold over here. They never complain that it's warmer. But I don't like being cold, and I get cold super super easy. So um, I keep it probably. I mean, I usually have it at 76.
Yeah. Well, I have my mindset where the heat comes on if it gets below 72 and the air conditioning comes on if it gets above 78.
Huh. Okay.
So, and when Ethan wasn't here last summer, Hannah and I moved that up to 80 because we were just girls and we didn't have to have as many clothes on.
That's
But you
true.
got to be a lot more clothed with him here. So oh no, don't go in there. Oh,
Well,
shoot.
maybe
Whispering
that might
over
be
here.
why my son never complains because he has always been like this ever since he was a little child. But as soon as you would get home, he would he would strip down to his underwear, and and he's still like that. So as soon as he gets home from school, so he doesn't get cold like I do. But
Yeah.
he's always done that. So I don't know if that's a good trait or a bad one. Like, uh, I keep on pulling this out because there's actually glue and stuff stuck on it from where I ripped it out of the magazine. And I like how that's like that. I don't know how many times I've picked this piece of paper up since I've been sitting here. Several. I'm glad that transfer worked out.
I wish this had the little lip on it, this spoon, because it drips over the edge, and then that wants to drip down there and put out my candles. So I have to wipe it off.
I have never made those before. The little wax seals.
Yeah. Well, I like them, but I think it's more fun to make something. I mean, it's fun to make some you can use for other things. I do put them on clusters and things sometimes. Wow. Okay. Let's leave that one a minute. I don't know why these are suddenly not wanting to come up. Maybe I did too many of them in the same place. We've got a little
Maybe.
bit of wax on the thing. I don't know. Okay, let's leave that a minute more. Brenda says, I want to play with wax seals. I used to have some back in the mid 70s. I'm glad you like them, Andrea. I'm glad you're here. Whoops. I was just trying to check what time it is. Because I do not. I have to be gone by 4:30. Yeah, thanks, Barbara. I like them too. I think they turn out cute. They look kind of like buttons with thread in them. Focus. No, I've got autofocus off, but sometimes it comes on anyway. So I was checking.
Yeah, that's just brilliant. I mean, it looks exactly like a button with thread in it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it works pretty good. See, you just gotta look around, see what else you can find.
Yeah.
I tried some buttons, some metal buttons, but for some reason the wax wouldn't come loose from the button. It just stayed on the button, and so that didn't work out very well. I was gonna try one of these. I hadn't tried that yet. Let's try that too. This is a nail with a number on it. Of course, the number will be backwards. Let's see if we can find one that I have one that, yeah, here's one that I learned something just now. You get a little tag on the end, but if you flip it back over this way instead of that way, it doesn't run the wax to the bottom. But then you get these little pieces you have to take off, but that's not a big deal. So there's that, what happened with that nail that had the number on it. That's kind of cool.
That's really cool. If you turn it around, will it be, well, the 6 will still be backwards, right? Whenever it
Yeah.
says 80, when it says 86, it almost looks more believable.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a little bit like it could be 98,
Right, yeah.
Um, anyway. I will put the copper on these little things and put them on that metal piece Thursday. So let's see how many we've got there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 6 more. Cindy's fussy cutting while she's watching. That's good.
Yeah.
Beth says, Lisa, I hot glued a pom pom to my button. That helped. And do not push down the button so far. Okay. Well, I was using buttons that had the little thing that you tie, the little, I don't know, the metal piece on the back or plastic on the back where you sew through it. Um, because I thought those would give me something to pull up on, but Andrea says, Brenda, I have also done faux wax seals with embossing powder. If you put embossing ink on the stamp, metal, etc., they don't stick at all. Oh, that's interesting. I need to make a few more of these to go on that. At least 2 more. Then I'm going to show you how this works to make one. And then I'll probably have to go.
Yeah.
Y'all can't see this, but I'm just sitting here letting it heat up. It takes a while. I may not have waited long enough. Well, you can't even see it. I may not have waited long enough for this one because it's so heavy, it may go straight through. I had that happen the first time I did it before. No, it worked. Okay. Well, I'm going to let that set a minute longer. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, there's what that one looks like. All right. I got a couple of minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and do a few more. Then I'll have plenty of rivets for for my metal piece. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, I like the greens, and I like all the greens mixed up together, like these darker ones here. Like this one is got 3 colors of green in it. My light is really. I hope my camera's not going out because the light's really weird in here today. But it's the same light I always have, so it's got to be the camera. Spoiled pup. Well, that's how pups are supposed to be. At least they all think they're supposed to be spoiled. Lon certainly thinks he's supposed to be spoiled. Hannah's. He's Hannah's. He's not mine. Bye, Kathy. Thanks for coming. Yeah, go look productive.
Yeah. Bye, Kathy. Thanks for being here. Well, this one, last one I'm doing is going to be very simple, and then I will show what I finished today. So thank you for having me, because this was perfect. This was kind of,
Well, I'm so
I've
glad you
been,
could come.
yeah, I've been spent the morning doing planning type stuff, and I kept telling myself, it's like, I need to be sure to make time to work in my journal a bit today. And um, so
So it worked
then I
out
thought,
good.
well, yeah, I might as well message Lisa and see if I can come crash your party.
Yeah,
And
I'm glad you
yeah,
did.
so I'm,
Happy to have you anytime.
yeah, well, working in trying to get these cut up was something I was told myself I needed to do while I was on break.
Hi, Barb. You're very late. We're almost fixing to go. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're here.
Hi, Barb. I'm getting ready to show uh what I've been working on.
When you're ready, let me know and I'll make you big.
Okay, yeah, I gotta glue this down really quick. And I think tonight after I get home from work, if I'm not too tired, I think I'm gonna finally start putting together my Vincent Van Gogh Starry Night Lego set.
Oh, I'm so
So
jealous that you have that.
I'm so excited, and I've been waiting to start putting it together. And it's like I want to do it when I like can enjoy, working on it. And my day job is extremely strenuous, and a lot of times, by the time I get home and then if I work at night too, it's like, no, that's just not even smart to attempt, this
Right.
this Lego set. And so I've been putting it off, but I want to start working on it this week since I'm home and there's nobody here, there's no distractions, it's quiet. I don't won't have anybody, coming in and of course my son is so funny because I had kept it hidden in my closet. I got it for myself. I ordered it a little bit before Christmas, and I got it 1st of January, and I've kept it hidden in my closet because this is awful, but I didn't want my son to see it. He just turned 12, right? So
Yeah.
he loves his Legos, and I'm like, well,
Well,
this is
mine's
mine.
23 and would still be glad to do. I'll do
Yeah,
that for you, Mom. You want me
yeah,
to do that
yeah,
for you?
yeah. So exactly, and I told so I kept it hidden in my closet. But then when I started working in my room, I'd taken a bunch of stuff out of my closet, and so I had it sitting out in front of my buffet in my room. And they, they got here on one Sunday. They get Sunday nights when we do the switch back and forth, and so they got here, and I'd forgotten to put it back in my closet. And so it's funny. I was like in the kitchen or something, And he kind of came out of my room and just kind of stopped and stood there and looked at me. And I was like, what? You know, and he's just kind of looking at me and he kind of looked over to my room and I said, I know. And I said, but I was like, that's my Lego set. And, you know, I was like, I want to put it together. I was like, you know, I've been wanting it for a long time, and it was really expensive, and it was a gift that I got for myself, and I would really love for you to help me. And I was like, but for me, I really need to like do this on my own, you know. And I said, don't take it personally, and you know, I was like, because I wanted him to understand, you know, that I wasn't just not letting him do it, you know.
Right.
Um, so anyway, because I knew he'd be like, excuse me, you know,
Yes,
but
exactly.
I,
There's a Lego
yeah,
set. You didn't even tell me about it.
I know. And it's like, so you're gonna let me put it together, right? But you know, and so and I asked him, I said, you know, I was like, you understand, you know, what I'm saying and why I want to do this and why it's important to me, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, you know, I was like, chances are might need your help. So, you know, and you will be the first person that I ask if I need help. Um, but yeah, it's just like I've always, well, it's exactly what you said. Yeah, I've shared everything of mine with them forever. You know, all of my
Yeah.
art stuff. They've always had a drawer here in my studio, you know, with their things, and they've always been able to use pretty much any of my things, and it was just really important for that to be mine. Um, so, but I did make sure that he understood that I just wasn't being mean by not letting him work on it. But this is what I've got. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, I even set it on my bed today so that I would remember to
Let
start
me.
working on it.
Okay. Well, they
But
can see. I was gonna say, let me make you bigger,
yeah,
but
no, it pretty much fits in there. So it's got 2,316 pieces. Um, and it comes with this frame, and it's three-dimensional. It, you know, it's layered. It's not like flat. It has levels to it. So I got this, and then I got the light kit that goes with
oh,
it. So like any of these places, it has these lights that plug in through the back of it, and so it lights up. So anyways, this is what I'm gonna start working on. But, but yeah, when I first saw that this was coming out, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get it. And you know, it's been a couple years, and so finally this past Christmas, I was like, you know what? No, I need to get that. So, anyways, it's fine. But I did make sure that he, you know, understood because he's like I said, he just turned 12, and it just, you know, I was like, hey, wait, how come you're not sharing with me? But
yeah. Legos are my thing.
I know. Okay, so these are the pages that then I worked on today, and all of these were made from stuff that I picked out of that those two baskets that I had sitting here on the work area, and it's just bits and pieces and scraps and ends and whatever. This is actually a piece of chocolate wrapper, this gold, and then I have a book that I just clip phrases from, and I just kind of look through it and see whatever looks like, um, you know, would work with that. I forgot to put words with that one, but that's probably okay. But that's all I've just been doing is sitting
Beautiful.
and putting those down. So I'm close to being caught up with March, and then I'll get back to doing a page a day. And then this one, I did a photo transfer with a picture that I printed out on my Canons, and did a transfer with the tape.
I need to go now,
And
actually.
yeah, it's 4:30. It's
Yeah.
4:34.
Somebody, Andrew's like, Lisa, what time do you need to go? Oh, I
Yeah,
should have
right
already
now.
left. Oh, goodness. Well, this is
All
my metal
right.
piece. We'll finish it on Thursday. And you're I would love it if you want to come back Thursday. Tanya might be
Yeah,
able to be with us Thursday. That'd be fun.
that would be fun. And as far as I know, I'm in for Thursday because yeah, I'm off all week. So I'll let you know
Okay. Barbara,
what's
do
going
you want to
on.
come on Thursday with us? We could actually have 4 people on at once. We won't be able to
That
see
would
everybody
be
very big, but we could do it.
yeah. That's crooked, but I need to close this and let that be. This is on there
Let
crooked.
me
So
know, Barbara. I do need to go. Love you all. Bye-bye. Thanks again,
but
Diane.
thanks everybody. Good to see you. Bye.